Hello? Happy today to you. What I've been working on in FunMan is something called a Go port. What the Go port is it's basically a stopper to keep the player from going any further until they finish a level. So here's the rough version of my map, and when a player achieves something, they are given access, maybe via a ticket, to another Go port, which will bring you to a different part of the game. And then different Go ports link to different other Go ports, and at some point I'd like to open up all of the levels you can visit again so the player can explore them in greater detail if they were concentrating on winning the game the first go around. This is the first version of the Go port, and it seemed a little bit claustrophobic and difficult to move around in. And if it wasn't fun to move around in, it's not going to be fun. So I spent some time today trying to redesign the Go port. There is no reason it needed to be so small. I have all the virtual space inside this world that I could possibly want. So I started with widening it up. The revolving door was kind of inspired by a dark room that I got to play around with in high school. But the dark room, the revolving door, blocked the visuals of the teleporter, and also required a little bit of maneuvering on the player's part to get inside. So I had to figure out a different way to get the thing to get out of the way. I thought about trying to make it move up and work that part into the design. Here's number one, and here's number two, and this is kind of the inspiration for this little thing was kind of like a self-sufficient rest area place with vending machines, and I like the kind of just the boring look of a square, like a bus stop. So I changed my mind, and instead of having it go up, it goes down. So I started thinking about the flowiness of it, in and out, how this is, you go in, you zap, you walk back out, even though there'll be a loading screen in the middle. And the geometry, I was messing with it so much it was difficult to work with. So here's a new building. Since I was working with new geometry, I had to, I'm going to have to rebake new maps for it. So I started thinking more about the style of it, and I started with some tiles. I like the look of tiles in subway stations, and this is a subway station of sorts. Here's a FunMan to scale that I use to design things. I thought that it having railings kind of be an indicator what exactly to do, so I added railings. Inside Godot, you can make shiny textures a little bit easier than trying to make them in Blender and export them. So that's what I ended up doing, although you can't see that in these. I also stopped being so afraid of making things that were too computationally expensive, so I added a bevel. And I was experimenting with the idea of this being a high visibility object, but this was too vault techy. So I did away with that. Well, this is the design that I decided to go with. I'll assign the textures of the railings in Godot, and let's see how it looks in the game. So here is my in-game Go port so far. Since these were travel points around the brain, I kind of thought this kind of neuron-y thing in the back would look pretty cool. There's a skin problem there. So what this does is it checks the script to see if you have the ability to go to a certain place. This is how I'm doing it so far. Go here, and I'll show you. I'm going to have to design something for the floor that makes it look like there's something there, and I'm going to put arrows with numbers that tell you, like, 1, 2, 3. Now, nothing is going to happen until you step into this part here. and this will open up a like a fast travel menu. Right now there's nothing, and you are stuck. There are invisible barriers there, so you cannot go any further. And as of right now, if you leave, it closes up. Oh, I have one more thing. So in my game, you get a magical amulet. If you can, I don't know if you can see the design on there. It's a coin. It's an old Russian coin. So you'll see these throughout the game even before you get the amulet. But when you do get the amulet and you see one of these things, if you're wearing the amulet and you approach them, cool things will happen. They don't happen yet, but they will. That is it for today. Thank you for coming along on this Fun Man adventure with me, and I'll talk to you soon.